Are we live? Yes, I think we're live. Hoping to get some of you guys in the chat tonight. Sorry about the dark. I was trying to see if this light back here would work, but it doesn't. So I apologize. You're seeing this again. But as I go over the show, it's going to get later, so don't worry about that. Welcome to your Monday Night Raw review. 1.6. Bruce and Vince and Kevin Dunn. You're making that a weekly thing now. Y'all better get your act together or it's just gonna be terrible, man. Terrible, terrible. Same shit had happened this week as it did last week. The only thing was minus the Fiend. So did they learn? No. Of course not. But I want to thank you guys on Twitter for getting me over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate it. Took about a good 6 months to get there, and I thank you guys for your support. So here we go. Let's get right into it. I'm going to get this loaded up and then I'll check back to see if there's any super chats going on. So we start off with the night. Matt Riddle defeats Jeff Hardy and Elias. I am not going to call him Riddle. The final spot on Team Raw was on the line when Jeff Hardy, Riddle, and Elias met in the ring. Elias tried to bring his universal truth in a pre-match concert, but dished out the punishment early after the musically gifted superstar took out the charismatic Enigma. Riddle punched his ticket with the shattering Bro Derek to set up the pin on Elias. The Raw newcomer now has the opportunity for Survivor Series glory as the last member of the Red Brand squad. But I do want to point out that Elias's guitar was so out of tune, bro. As Vince Russo would say, bro, tune your guitar. Terrible, unless WWE did that on purpose. I don't know why they keep sticking with this gimmick. I really, really don't. It's been overly done. It's stale. Just figure out something else for him. If not, I don't know what to do with the Wise. That's just my take on that. So after that, we got Archer pins Drew Gulak to win the 24/7 title. I ain't getting so sick of this shit. They had a 7-way, which we'll go over later on in the show, that everybody won the title, only for Archer to get it back. 44 times is ridiculous. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. Nobody should have a title that many times. That just means you lost it 44 times. Who wants that on their resume? Certainly not me. I would not want that fucking shit on my resume. And by the way, would Tom Phillips please say Ali's name correctly? Oh my god, what did he say? Mustafa? Like the whole entire night? It's Mustafa Ali, not Mustafa. Mustafa, here comes Mustafa. I'm like, oh my god. How many times can you, even in the match, he was butchering it to where the other commentators started butchering it. The only one to get it right, Samoa Joe, thank you so much. You're the only one that knows how to pronounce the wrestlers' names. It's probably because you are a wrestler yourself and you actually give a shit. But the rest of them, Mike Tom Mike, as Jericho once said, oh my god. And then we have Shayna Baszler defeats Lana. Thought she was going to go through the table for the 8th time in a row, but at this point of the show, she did not. But just wait, you'll see what happens later on. Then we had, of course, the triple threat match that AJ Styles thought would be a great idea. Or no, it was a tag team match, I'm sorry. We already had that. This was Riddle and Keith Lee defeat Braun Strowman and Sheamus. And then they all got into arguments and things like that. And nobody wants AJ Styles as their captain. Poor AJ, man. I mean, you would think he'd be the guy you want as your captain, but I guess my captain, your captain, is not the case here. After that, Titus Worldwide, World Slide. Yeah, of course, MVP brought that joke up, telling Titus to stay in the ring and not under it. Of course, that would happen. This was so short, I'll read this one real quick. While MVP was singing the praises of the Hurt Business, Titus O'Neil stormed out to the ring to voice his displeasure with Bobby Lashley's United States title reign. O'Neil brought the fight to the champion. What fight? Hold on. What fight? Wasn't that like 2 minutes? What fight? There was a fight with MVP? Or Bobby Lashley? No. That was just about a little bit longer than Ricochet and Brock Lesnar. What fight? Are these people mental? I think so. The Almighty flipped the script, though, with his spear and locked in a full Nelson to force a tap out and quiet O'Neil for good. Good. Hopefully that's over. Asuka defeats Nia Jax by disqualification. Who gives a shit? I can care less. And this is what I was talking about before. R-Truth emerges from 7-way match with 24/7 title. Let's see how they go over this. The opening bell set off a tornado of title changes as Akira Tozawa, Eric, Drew Gulak, Tucker, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado all held the title at one point during the match. After Dorado pinned his Lucha House Party teammate, R-Truth took advantage of the shock to win the 24/7 title for the 44th time. The real title, ladies and gentlemen, is 16. 16 is the number we all see important. The only one that tied it was John Cena. But he can't wrestle Ric Flair because he's too damn old. So the only one close enough to him, if they go this route, would be either Randy Orton or Triple H. With Triple H, I don't think that's happening. So it would be Randy. If they get him a couple more reigns, like I said, the story sells itself. You could have Randy versus John Cena to break number 16 at one of the WrestleManias. Definitely not this year, but the following or the year after, to be Cena's last match or Orton's last match, one or the other. Put it all on the line. Make it interesting. That's my prediction. So we got Mustafa Ali defeats Ricochet. Mustafa. Oh. Tom Phillips is an idiot. Following last week's brutal assault at the hands of Retribution, Ricochet set out to get payback against Mustafa Ali. Ricochet went flying to take out the ringside members of Retribution, but he came up empty when he turned his sights back on Ali. The leader of Retribution was set on showing Ricochet the light and grounded the high flyer with the Fuji clutch for the win. Now listen. So I guess the Retribution feels like they can't beat anybody else. They're going to go after poor little Ricochet. So they got to win on him. So that's going to build him credibility. They got to beat some tougher opponents there. Bruce and Vince and Kevin Dunn. Ricochet is going to make people start calling Mustafa a real deal here. That's just fucking drives me crazy. Mustafa. I'm going to start posting all the time on Tom Phillips' account. Mustafa. Not Mustafa. Unless that was Vince McMahon in the headset saying, let's piss people off, and you can just say Mustafa. OMG. What else happened? And then we had, what was the main event? That's what I'm missing. Oh yeah, the Nia Jax put Lana through the table and towards the end of the night for the 8th time. Does anyone give a shit? No, at this point it's getting so petty it's ridiculous. Here's the main event. Drew McIntyre and the New Day defeat Randy Orton, The Miz, and John Morrison. Drew McIntyre came to the ring smiling ear to ear after learning he'd face Randy Orton for the WWE Championship next week on Raw. But this is where the Viper was smart. He did not want to put himself in jeopardy to where The Miz could cash in Money in the Bank, so he stayed out of this match the entire time and just towards the end said fuck it and walked to the back. not actually say it, but he said stuff like that before. But that was very smart. I got to give Randy Orton props and WWE props for not letting him touch each other. But we've already seen this match how many times, so who gives a shit if they do or not? The Scottish superstar manhandled Miz and Morrison when he entered the fray and stared down the Viper during the display. As McIntyre called him toward the ring, Orton decided against it and headed up the ramp, clinging to his title. So with McIntyre's attention turned, Morrison tried to steal the victory, but McIntyre sprang into action for a devastating Claymore kick to the Friday Night Delight to clinch the win. Those were your results, folks. Those were your results. And oh my god, 11 minutes. I know a lot of you guys like big breakdowns, but what do you want me to break down? This show is horrendous. But for your pleasure, let me look to see if there's anything I can. Excuse me. Oh, let's see. Honestly, nothing is striking my interest enough to even do that. I don't know how JD from NY206, I gotta give you props, bro. I don't know how you fucking do it. Where you break it down so simplistic and so to the point and see through all that and manage to talk about the show for an hour or more. I personally can't. Not that I can't talk for an hour. Obviously, I can. But the thing is, I don't have it in me enough to enjoy the show enough to be like, I want to talk about this for 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how JD does it. I don't know how Solid Monster does it. But again, let me look here again. Is there anything? Because as of right now, I am not seeing any. Let's see. Let's see. Nope. I do not care about Riddle and Lee and Braun Strowman and Sheamus. I don't know what you expect me to do with Bobby Lashley and Titus O'Neil. That was like 2 minutes. Asuka and Nia Jax. No, don't give two shits. R-Truth emerges from a 7-way. Big fucking whoop. In the main event, they had to try to. Oh, okay, listen. I will say this. Now that Miz has money to bank, do not let WWE use their old bag of tricks. Now, every chance they get to get you to watch the whole entire fucking show, they're going to say, oh, could the Miz cash in? It could be on Orton, or it could be on the New Day. Why the fuck would he cash that in on a New Day? That was the most idiotic thing I ever heard. You know it's going to be on Orton. But they're going to hang their hats on this to try to increase the ratings just to get people to watch that third hour because nobody wants to. So they're going to put like Miz and Orton closer to the main event each and every week. Don't fall for that old bag of shit. Because that's what it is. Make them think out of the box by not watching. You have me. You have JD. You have Soul Monster. We'll give you the news. We'll let you know what you need to know. You got BC. Amplified. Awesome dude. You got Don Tony. You got others in the community that do this like us for a living. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. Just come here. Watch us. Request watch-alongs. We'll play it. But the thing is, they're going to use that because they think you're dumb. We're not dumb. Obviously, the ratings show a 1.6. It didn't work. All night, they're like, oh, the Miz could cash in tonight. Tonight could be the night. That's just Vince McMahon being desperate, hoping that he'll get you hook, line, and sinker and leave you with nothing. Randy didn't even enter the match. So you waited all night for that. Yeah, I gave him props for being smart. But you waited all night for that. Just tell them, the hell with you. I'm not falling for this shit. I'm going to watch something else. The only way this company will learn is if, one, they lose money. Two, the ratings go lower. Three, nobody sponsors it. Without fans, there's going to be no sponsors. Not that I wish that that's the WWE or anything, but I know this will be the only way to get that old man out of power, to have some change, get some youth back in that show, and just have it fun again. But as long as Vince is there, it will. Look at Survivor Series. They're hanging it all on The Undertaker. 30 years. What all you got to do is, take about 30 minutes. I love you, Mark Calloway, but your time is over. Come on a bike or don't come at all. But we want to see him make an embarrassment of himself. Take 30 minutes to walk down the ring. Do the eyeball thing. I can't do it, but who gives a shit? And just kind of glance out to the crowd. So you will rest in peace. Get on a knee, lift his hand up. That's it. You really think he's going to wrestle? Come on. If he does, it'll be a WrestleMania. It ain't going to be here. And what happens? This company, it's not that hard. You got the best roster you ever had, but you're wasting it away because you don't give a shit. I've seen WWE at one point in my life get almost 7 million viewers for an episode of Raw when they were in competition with WCW. 7 million almost. I think it was like a 6.6 or 6.7 when Stone Cold and The Rock were, stealing the show. But it's like, oh my god, now they're at 1.6, closing in on Impact numbers. When they had Hogan and Bischoff doing that 1.2, 1.3 every week. It's like, come on. It's like everything the phrase I remember with Stephanie and Mick Foley, you take one step forward, but I feel you take 2 steps back. She may have been talking about the company there. Like in her mind, she wanted to be the one going forward, but the company was going backwards. It's like they got all this talent, all this creative, everything, and they just can't seem to know what they're doing. I don't know. They just frustrate me to no end. They really do. I love SmackDown. SmackDown is getting so much better. Because of who? Like JD said, Daniel Bryan. He's the savior of that show in Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. But this Raw is just terrible. Don't defend this garbage anymore. I'm tired of seeing people defend it. This is a terrible show. You know it. You know it is. If they're doing so well, they'd be at 2 or 3 3.0s every week. I mean, it's got me so hot I didn't even smoke a cigarette. Come on. Now I went from 10 to 20 minutes because of a rant. But it's like, don't buy into it. I'm begging you, guys, for the next couple of weeks, do not buy into the Miz could cash in tonight bullshit. They're going to use that until you're blue in the face, thinking it's going to work. And it's not. Especially the Miz. No one gives a fuck about the Miz. Sorry, Mike, we love you, but as far as your character, we don't give a crap about your character. And that's not your fault, that's WWE's. Because there was a time in 2016 where you were on the roll of your life, man. And that was because they let you be you. And look what happens now. Now they're micro-managing you about everything. So, take it from me, guys. Don't fall for it. If you can gather anything from this live stream, gather me that, please. So I hope you tuned in until after the results to hear this little rant. I hope you like it. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, leave a like or a comment, share the video, post the video, do whatever you gotta do. Say hi to Thunder Rosa for me and Mission Pro Wrestling. They're my sponsors of the channel today. Give them a hello, say, hey, this guy's funny, check him out, post him more. Any of that would help. And I do also help by helping you guys by subbing back. I've been getting better at that. And might be a new t-shirt coming out. And hopefully that'll get rolling in the next few days. But I won't give it away. Because that's my first ever merchandise of myself. So I want it to be a banger. But anyways, love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care. And I'll see you for Dynamite tomorrow. Oh, and one more thing before. If anyone wants to come on my show, just hit me up. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, hit me up and I'll get you on here. No cost. We'll have a lot of fun. So until next time, guys, take care and see you for AEW.